Now, class 9 students, today I will start the topic that is the first chapter of your civics, our constitution and its salient features. I will teach you according to your syllabus that is given by the ICSE board. Now, first I will teach you the definition of the Constitution. What is a Constitution? The Constitution is that body of rules and laws according to which a state is governed. It defines and determines the form of the government, the powers to be exercised by the various organs of the government, that is the legislature, the executive and the judiciary. Third point, the limitations on these powers and people's rights and duties. Indian Constitution is known as the fundamental law of the land because it is superior to the ordinary laws enacted by the parliament or state legislature. So, our constitution is regarded as the fundamental law of the land because it is superior to the ordinary law of our country. Then very important is date of adoption, when the constitution was adopted. The assembly had its first sitting on December 9, 1946. Dr. Sachidananda Sinha, the oldest member of the House, was elected as the interim president of the Assembly. On December 11, 1946, Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected as the permanent president. Then the next topic is date of enforcement and its significance. The Constitution was enacted and adopted by the Constituent Assembly on November 26, 1949. It took some 2 years, 11 months and 17 days for the Assembly to finally adopt and enact the Constitution. Now, date of enforcement of the Constitution. The Constitution came into force on January 26, 1950. Now, this January 26 is the very auspicious and important day of our whole country, and it is celebrated as the Republic Day. Now, significance of January 26 in India's struggle for Swaraj. January 26 had a great significance in India's struggle for Swaraj. 26 January is considered as our Republic Day. Now, besides this, there are other salient features of our constitution, of our country, India. What is this? Now, the very important is the conception of single citizenship. Indian Constitution recognizes a single citizenship. Every Indian is a citizen of India and has the same right of citizenship, no matter in which state he belongs. For example, if a person lives within the state of West Bengal, then he will enjoy the citizenship of India only, not the citizenship of the particular state where he belongs. Next conception is universal adult franchise. The Constitution is based on the principle of universal adult franchise. It gives voting right to every person who is a citizen of India, not less than 18 years of age and not otherwise disqualified under any law. So this conception of universal adult franchise is very important in our country, India. Next point is fundamental rights and duties. Part 3 of Indian Constitution contains the fundamental rights. The fundamental rights are justiciable, and there is a provision for their enforcement if they are violated. Fundamental rights are grouped into 6 categories. Number 1, right to equality. Number 2, right to freedom. Number 3, right against exploitation. Number 4, freedom of religion. Number 5, cultural and educational rights. And 6th point is right to constitutional remedies. So fundamental rights can be grouped into 6 categories. These are right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, rights to constitutional remedies. Now in our next chapter, we have to study in detail regarding these categories of the fundamental rights. Now come to the point of the fundamental duties. The 42nd Amendment Act 1976 added a new part to the Constitution. What is that? That is fundamental duties, of which the following are most important. What are these? Duty to uphold and protect the unity and integrity of India, and the duty to safeguard public property. So the 42nd Amendment Act of 1976 included the fundamental duties in our Constitution. Now next is directive principles of state policy. Directive principles our Indian Constitution contains in part 4 of our Constitution. This is not justiciable. The directive principles are intended to create a social order in which justice of every kind shall prevail. The state should ensure that the citizens have adequate means of livelihood. The economic system does not result in the concentration of wealth. These principles are not enforceable or justiciable, but these are fundamental in the sense that these are very important for the governance of the country, and the duty of our state is to look after the proper maintenance of the directive principles so that the people are very much following the directive principles. A welfare state. A welfare state provides citizens a wide range of social services such as education, medical care, and financial help during old age, sickness or unemployment. Under Part 4 of the Constitution, the state is directed to ensure to the people employment, education, and assistance in case of old age, sickness, and disablement. So welfare state is, the conception of the welfare state is a very prestigious, and we must give a very social highness to welfare state, because India is an example of welfare state where financial aid is given to the poor people, to the old people, in the society, education, medical care, financial aid, proper care for the sick people, all must be maintained properly. Now students, this is the end of the chapter, the very conception of the Constitution and the salient features. Now few question answered. Just you listen carefully. First of all, the exam definition of Constitution. It must be according to your book. Look at the book and mark it. What is a constitution? The constitution is that body of rules and laws according to which a state is governed. Then you mark from the book. It defines and determines the form of the government, the powers to be exercised by the various organs of the government, the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. The limitations on these powers and the people's rights and duties. Our constitution is known as the fundamental law of the land. It is a very basic law and it is superior to the ordinary law. Very important. Then mark from the book date of adoption, then date of enforcement and its significance. Why 26 January is so important? It is also very important. The conception of single citizenship, then universal adult franchise. Universal adult franchise is very important. I want to explain you again. The constitution is based on the principle of universal adult franchise. It gives voting rights to every person who is a citizen of India, is not less than 18 years of age, and is not otherwise disqualified under any law. Then fundamental rights and duties. Fundamental rights, 6 categories of fundamental rights. In the next chapter, we will study in detail of the fundamental rights. Then when fundamental duties were inserted in our constitution, then directive principles. The main difference in between the fundamental rights and directive principles. Fundamental rights part 3, directive principles part 4, and fundamental rights justiciable, it is not justiciable. Then at the end of the chapter, that is the welfare state. Highly prestigious, and we must honor the conception of the welfare state. India is a great example of the welfare state. Now students, thank you very much. The chapter is mainly textual, objective. You follow the pattern, how I teach you. Now wish you all the best. Okay, thank you for today.